So the trend for outsourcing has really been fueled by technology, people being able to jump online and find work in bite-sized sort of quantities and small jobs. It works better for them in terms of staying flexible and sort of using weekends and afternoons and sort of increasing their income. It works better for companies who are able to stay flexible and get a lot more done, tap into a vast labor force that they can't hire in-house, and they can't sort of afford to go to consultancies and agencies and whatnot. So really it's been a natural evolution that's been fueled by the internet and now mobile telephony and smartphones. So we have an app on a smartphone. We're seeing increasingly people go on mobile and actually search for projects to actually do or outsource. Recession helped. You know, it's also been timing is everything in business. So when technology coincides with the economic cycle, magic things happen, and that's exactly what's happened in the space of outsourcing work online. So the benefits to small businesses, well, if you think of it this way, it's you know, we have 500,000 active freelancers on our website, which are ready to work for you within an hour. That's bigger than the workforce of Tesco's or HSBC for that matter. It's bigger than Ford Motors. So if you think about how powerful that is for a small business today to have access to a workforce as big as these huge multinationals that have been built over decades, I mean, that's really what it comes down to. And obviously the beauty of it is you don't have to hire them on your books and pay that massive payroll bill, but you can access them when you want to. And the skills diversity within that pool is huge. It goes from technologists to designers to copywriters to people who are going to do data entry at a huge fraction of the cost. It's all over the world, so there's a difference in rates. So you can hire someone in India or in the Philippines or in the UK if you want someone who speaks the language and understands the culture. I think it's more powerful than we realize today. It's like having a massive workforce that normally, traditionally takes decades to build and a huge investment, having it ready at your fingertips at no setup cost whatsoever. So if you're a small business, if you go to our website, peopleperhour.com for example, it works very simply. You post a job, you describe what you need, and then it goes to relevant people with relevant skills who start sort of bidding essentially on your job within hours. So what amazes most people, there's still a disbelief about how this concept can actually work online, but when they see the proposals trickling in within hours, and typically they'll get maybe a dozen within a day, they're actually quite amazed, and then you can see reviews of those people and what other people have said about them, other companies who've hired them and worked with them. You can see portfolios of their work online, whether it's visual or sort of Word documents or Excel spreadsheets, etc. So really the information you get within a few hours of the caliber of talent you can hire is incredible compared to the traditional way of doing things where you have to, you know, get a recruiter and a CV and hire someone, and then you have to actually commit to a long-term contract, etc. So the best way is to just jump online, post a job and see what you get. It's free to post a job, so there's nothing to lose. You know, we keep it free because we know we can deliver. We know that when people do have a requirement and they post it on the site, they tend to get very good freelancers coming through. We've also launched a newer product, which we also now have on the iPhone and an Android app called Hourlies. That's about a year old now. It's actually our fastest growing product. And what Hourlies is essentially bite-sized jobs that are ready to start immediately. So you don't have to post, you don't have to get proposals, you can actually see them on display. You can see essentially the jobs that are advertised by freelancers saying, I can do 1 hour of copy editing for you tomorrow. So people who have downtime and they have spare capacity, they're essentially putting that time and that talent out on display and attaching a price to it that's fixed, and you can just click a button and start and essentially purchase it. So it's essentially productizing time and work in a way that makes it totally frictionless for a buyer to just sort of, for a company to say, right, I didn't know I can actually get a video produced within hours. So in that case, you don't actually have to request anything. You just browse like you do on a shopping site. You know, sometimes like window shopping, right? You know, you're browsing a website and you say, okay, that's interesting, and you just buy it. So there's these two key ways of doing it really, and as I said, so it's online on our peopleperhour.com, or it's on an Android on our iPhone app. You can just search for People Per Hour on the iPhone store, on the iTunes store, or on the Android store.